Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. So, looking at Bitcoin, we got a little bit of a bounce and drop off of the point of control here from that 43.6 area. Now the point of control shifting down to here as more trading down in that 42.4 region. So we've been alternating between 43.7 and 42.4 between the 2 points of control, and now coming to that below that 706. The 706 of this diagonal pitch fan is also known as a trapdoor. When this trapdoor opens, we could drop to the downside, coming all the way down to that 40K region. Let's go ahead and take a look at the liquidity. What is the liquidity? Well, people lock their liquidity into the charts to get burnt to a crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss, and we get to see where those crispy characters are. So let's do it now. In the last 24 hours, 28 million in longs and 13 million in shorts liquidated for BTC.
Fatality.
Got to use a stop loss. And ETH, also a lot of longs on ETH getting knocked off the table. Got to be careful of that FOMC shenanigans. A lot of alts as well, mostly longs by the green color here in the last 12 hours, 4 hours as well. And in the last hour, a $2 million long knocked off the table for BTC. Let's go into the heat map and take a look at what is still cooking for possibilities to the downside. It looks like we still could continue on our way down below. 681 million at 41 even has not yet been reclaimed, which we were looking at yesterday. Let's go ahead and see if 649, 41.1, 41.2 rather. So let's go ahead and look at what we were talking about yesterday, shall we? So yesterday we were looking at a C continuation idea. I deleted it, but we were looking at an ABC continuation to the downside, and we were looking at something all the way down to recover the wick, and then we got a recovery of this gap over here, which was an equilibrium, not even quite equilibrium. It was a shallow retracement of here. If we take it from just the impulse here, we got to the 706 of this retrace and then kind of bounced out here. So we were talking about the 706 as the trapdoor rejection zone, and this is the reason why we call it the trapdoor, is right here. So basically from that 706 it dropped down about 1.5% in a relatively short amount of time. So this rejection zone, and we were talking about the 236 holding for potential upside. So let's go ahead and take a look at the momentum. Wouldn't change a thing about the math, so let's go ahead and throw it on. I got limited time today, got to go into work. So link in the description for more. Scroll down to features, toggle everything at your leisure. Take a look at the trend cloud, the baselines, the stochastic array, and more. All unique formulas to your phone. And let's go ahead and take a look now. Okay, so we're getting some manipulation stop hunt sequence events on the 1 hour time frame. And then what was the clue to see this come up here in the pre-market? So let's go ahead and go to a lower time frame and see. 15-minute. So on the 15-minute, you could have seen this cross up event leading into the London news event, and we held this and came back above the cloud, and the cloud starting to shift in a manner here. If you go to the 5-minute, The 5-minute cloud kiss entry model would have been your idea here. And even if you missed this, we came back for a kiss of the cloud. We talk about this all the time, where you come back and kiss it and then you're gone. And then this curvature of the cloud on the 5-minute was insinuating that continuation idea. Okay, so just saying, if you had Momentum Master, you could be taking these things without an analysis from anyone, just yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and reassess and see where things are for now on the liquidity. So we were talking about that 41K amount. There's 1.45 billion down at 41 even on the 6-month time frame. We were talking about that 44K 1.96. It went from 1.96 billion down to 1.4. Did it just change? Yeah, 1.45. So there was a little bit that changed from that region. All right, so do we come to that level? Let's go into the liquidity here. We have some 10-15 million up at that 43.8 region that we could start making our way up out of this region if we are so inclined. Once again, the 236 is your guide, watching for this 236 to hold at 40. What is that? 41.9, basically 42K. Does 42K hold or not? Let's go ahead and make our descent through the time frames and then bid you adieu. Okay, so starting with the 3-day, you got 2 days left on the 3-day time frame. Do we come up to these 44K regions and reject? Do we see follow through? What is going on? First, let's go see what type of news we have for today, as you should do every day. So the FOMC did its thing. Now we have a German monetary policy. A lot of protests happening in France and Germany due to the globalist agenda to stop farming, which everyone should protest. And the New York pre-market news unemployment claims coming in hot with a red folder. So you got a red folder pre-New York. You got some PMI at midnight. So we have some hot news coming in after the New York is open too. So we got some news catalyst events to send us in a direction today, so watch out for that. Coming to the daily time frame, so we had that nice daily rejection off the cloud. The cloud starting to shift, like we were talking about, the thin purple nature of it. So we had to bang our heads up against this cloud. But do we make our way to continue? Does it come down and start to break through and flip this cloud bullish? Or is this a bearish retest and we are continuing lower? Looking at the daily oscillator here, if we see the oscillator, it is overbought on the stochastic. The Williams still pushing higher here. MACD bouncing off the 0 level, trying to remain inside of the stochastic domain. Money flow on the 22 getting a little bit steamed. We were talking about that yesterday, and possibly coming higher for a double top scenario, but eventually getting gassed on the 22-hour. Williams coming to the average of itself. Does it come up for a double top or start to cross here? 22-hour cloud is the same cloud as the 12 for the last few months. It's been that way. So the 12-hour cloud also shifting here, and the 12-hour money flow and RSI even Steven levels at 50, looking to possibly bounce up for a double top scenario. You did get a little bit of a burst off of that double top, but it was kind of a maxed top, one single top, so we could get a genuine double top here on the 12-hour. you did have a bearish 12-hour candle here. Does that mean that it will continue with acceleration below this 236? Let's go to the 6-hour time frame. You had this cross down event. This is why we were looking at the idea of coming lower. So they had this stop hunt and continuation, this manipulation event on the FOMC to stop out all the people who were correct and continued back to where we left off yesterday. 6-hour cloud is just below here. You have the Williams possibly suppressing takeoff of the stochastic, coming lower on the momentum for the 6-hour time frame. Cross down event as well in your favor to the downside. Looking to the 4-hour, also having this large sell-off vector candle here, coming back to the cloud, now starting to fail the 4-hour cloud. Okay. Possible suppression of the Williams here, taking this down for another acceleration to the downside. If we take a look at the open interest, let's go ahead and load this. All right, so we get a little bit lower on the open interest here. Some shorts and longs opening. Overall delta is negative. We should get a big reset of this open interest. We have 3 billion in open interest that could deal with a fresh reset. So this could be the bearish retest zone to come on lower. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly. Wait, did we look at the oscillator for the 4-hour? No, we didn't. Oscillator. Oh yes, we did. The possible suppression of the Williams on the stochastic takeoff could cause this spiraling to the downside as we break that 4-hour cloud. Hourly also coming down nicely here. Do we get a little bit more of an acceleration drop here to the downside? We have broken the cloud and we are starting to come lower. Cross down event on the hourly as well. This looks like it was a stop hunt to continue on its merry way to that C leg to the downside. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and delete these clouds from the 4 and the 6. We watched those come up. This is the 12 and the daily. So we have the daily and the 12-hour cloud. Is it possible that we come down and wick beneath this area and come to recover the wick that we were talking about from yesterday? Okay, we're gonna go throw on some volume analysis here. Let's go see how the volume is operating for the day. Let's go ahead and turn on the volume profile here. So we're beneath the point of control from yesterday, and we are back at Sunday's volume node. Do we come all the way down to Saturday's point of control down here at 41.7, possibly recovering this wick? Looks like we are on our way to do that as we have rejected this point of control. Basically, the next point of control is down here at that 41.777 region. If you can't find support on this wick at 41.6 and recover back above that 236, then you can recover all of these thin print zones here at 40,005. You have a thin print area here and the point of control at 40,001. Okay. Interesting. So looking to come lower prices, recovery of the wick. This is a breakaway gap. For the most part, you're getting acceleration through that 706 as you get access denied to the upside. So too much leverage. So this sputtering effect, we got to the 1, so it did reach the take profit region of the 1 from this 236 analysis from the weekend. So this projection has essentially played out. We're going to leave it up just for the 236 idea, but for the most part we are trying to see a fresh reset of this range at this point. Let's go ahead and look at the liquidation levels on the weekly here. Yeah, you definitely have a lot down here at that 41.9, 41.5, a lot more liquidity down to that 41.3 range. So I would not be surprised if we come all the way down to 41.3. You could clear even down to 41 even, and I would not be surprised. There's less liquidity to the upside here than there is down here. So coming down below, look out below, coming to this wick zone. In the immediate. Let's go take a look at what Dixie's doing after that. We were talking about a bounce off that region. We were talking about how this had not been swept in some time, so coming lower would make more sense. We've been kind of pushing the buy side idea, and so coming lower and then going higher after that made more sense. So they came down and swept all of that long liquidity up and then started to recover here. So now do we just continue on our analysis to this high over here and start to break out and sweep this zone? Now you have two equal highs over here to clean up. All right, so analysis for the Dixie. If the Dixie goes up, then Bitcoin will continue on its way lower. Looking at the total market cap for crypto, coming back beneath this 236 of the bearish trend base fib, respecting the bearish trend and coming possibly lower back down to the 706 region. So if this does drop down, you could be coming to this region too. Bitcoin dominance. Dominance did get a bit of a push down, but then back up again. So the dominance stealing the show for Bitcoin, coming back to this possible region of Bitcoin taking away the alt pressure. You had USDT dominance, that 706 trapdoor we always talk about is where that you get permission granted or denied for that continuation down to that level. So they came back into USDT dominance for that rip into USDT. No. So we're gonna take this off. Stop. No. This one. All right. So came back to that 706 and got rejected. 6-hour cross up event. And now you're possibly bearishly retesting this cloud officially. If we come lower than the USDT dominance, if we go higher on USDT dominance, that means Bitcoin is going lower. As we start to cross up this 12-hour cloud, do we get this follow through to continue up to this region? That is the question. As you are above the cloud, do we get some acceleration to the downside? Looking slightly bearish for the marketplace as you come lower on total 3. Total 3 not holding the cloud and getting some acceleration to the downside with the baselines above the price action, looking to possibly flush altcoins on lower. If we go to a lower time frame here, breaking the 706 level and possibly coming lower. Last time we got a reaction off the 236, we could be just coming down at least to here at 463 billion as we break the 6-hour cloud and the adaptive on the 6. Let's go look at the crypto bubbles and see the red that is in the altcoin space. Tau is up for the weekend day, so Tau is doing something different, but the rest is all red. So if you're positioned into a short, congratulations on that. Looks like the alts are coming lower as the USDT dominance aims to go higher, and the Bitcoin dominance as well. So Bitcoin looking to continue on its way to the 236 and possibly below at 41.9. And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Do we come to this 41.3 region and sweep up this liquidity on the sell side? What's up, Dingo? What's up, CNC? You guys have anything? Last requests? I gotta get going, so. The 6-hour cross down event has you at hello for BTC. Had that stop hunt during FOMC, but basically coming lower. Coming to NQ, also breaking this point of control, came down to this point of control from Thursday. Are you coming all the way down to these regions from last week? You have some Apple and Amazon earnings today. Microsoft was on Tuesday, so we will see. ES got that extension all the way to the downside that we were talking about. We were putting out a bearish projection for ES, and it nearly went exactly to that deviation level. Came down to that 4 deviation from the manipulation here. Entry on the 1618, boom, 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 on lower. That was an interesting sell-off there. We are at that 4881 region. Do we come back for a double bottom event? If we look at ES, we have a point of control over here. That's exactly where the candle closed at 4868. And we have some thin print zones here and another point of control if we're coming lower down at this region, 4814. Just marking off some regions here. Value area high 4788. If we break down further, the next region we could be coming up to, which is what we're doing right now, 4881, bearishly retesting this point of control from Tuesday the 23rd, and possibly coming for a double bottom at 4868 for ES. Okay. Any questions? Oh, thanks, Steven. Okay, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Basically looking for a little bit of a continuation to the downside for BTC, coming to recover the wick. The same analysis from yesterday without the manipulation here. So this ABC coming on lower. How does it negate this idea of the 236 or not? If it negates the 236 with some higher time frame candles breaking right through this, I will delete it and start to look at a bearish projection to the downside for continuation ideas. This was the bullish divergence from before. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, folks. So thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision,